how can it not? Elizabeth delivered it so gracefully. And I know that where it touched me, it was touching you in that same spot. There's so many dimensions to that song. Sometimes we forget. We forget that we have a soul. We forget that we are a soul. And so we come to these places to remember. We come into our meditation to remember. We come into our prayer work to remember. You know how you do when you forget? You start eating, trying to fill yourself up because you think something's missing. Start self-medicating because your body is aching with pain. Start working hard every day so that you can prove that you have value. Start hanging out in the streets so that you can forget that you're lonely. Start becoming a webhead, desperate for human contact but settling for virtual contact. Start spending money to make yourself feel better about you. You start drinking to forget your problems. You get high to hang out with other people who have issues. You watch TV because you think you're broke and that's the only thing that you can do. Huh? Is that touching on anything? I know I've been all those places.
Teach.
Huh? That hole that you are digging is not big enough for you to hide in because you are so large. You are the divine incarnate, and you took this incarnation so that your soul could receive the nourishment that it needs for the journey. I want to share with you a reading from the book that my practitioner shared with me a few years back. My practitioner happens to be the same practitioner for my mentor teacher, Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith, so I knew when she gifted this to me that it was going to be with me deeply. That's why it's looking kind of raggedy. This is the section called You, Soul. You begin to understand that you, the real you, are soul. And the physical vessel is but its instrument. It is not an easy task to put the physical in its rightful place, but until this has been accomplished, there will always be more or less power seeming to remain with the physical side of your life. Strive today to be more conscious of this soul than you are of the physical vessel in which soul functions. You and spirit are truly one. And when you can function as one, you shall have full control over this physical body. You will feed the body. You will, of course, clothe it of necessity. You will provide for its comfort and care for all of its needs. You will recognize the wonders of its involuntary functioning, and you will learn to speak your word and have it respond to your command. But it is only as you keep your consciousness high above this physical vessel that you will have this full command over it. Never allow the lesser to have control over the greater. Always shall you be in the driver's seat. This lesson, my child, is most necessary that it be of clear understanding as we climb the path together. Only by a constant knowing of the real you can that you soul abide in spirit consciousness. And only as soul and spirit function as one can you lift yourself from earth consciousness. This earth consciousness is that which sees strife all about you. It plunges you into affairs which concern you not at all. It causes you to try often to do for other souls that which only they can do for themselves. It is a world consciousness which causes you to run hither and thither, wasting your time and energy. But I hear you say to me, I am in this world. I see strife all about me. I see those who seem to need my help. And there are many things about which I must needs busy myself. Yes, beloved, this is true. But these things are for you to see and handle from soul aspect. The physical will then obey, and from soul consciousness, you will know when and how to help. You will know which is of importance and which is needless for you to do. You will find you do not waste effort in useless running about and will make fewer and yet fewer mistakes in judgment. These mistakes will only be made if you for the moment slip back into the old self-mind. At the moment of your soul union with spirit, you will be master over all situations, and none shall be master over you. For you will have cut your claims of physical bondage and thrown off the grave clothes of sense consciousness. Is it hard to fulfill this lesson? Yes, by your own strength. When I walk the path with you, helping you as I do, when you are fully conscious of me, conscious that soul is never left to struggle on alone, but that my spirit is always there helping, guiding, day by day, you will find the road to attainment grows easier, and your soul will sing songs of praise and adoration as it journeys on its heavenward way. We have learned much of the non-essential in this life. Wouldn't you say? We have learned about fear and limitations. And we have been taught to guard and close our hearts. In short, we have been taught to shrink and to not expand. It is as if we are learning to die and not to live. This is not natural to us. Everything in our spirit is calling for more life, abundantly. We are bombarded with information about high interest, low unemployment, high mortality rates, high risks, and low morale. This mental and emotional roller coaster is not only making us sick to our stomachs, but it is polluting our minds with despair and delusion. And our minds are our canvases for what is possible. If all before us is dark, the light must emerge, or there is to be no picture at all. And yet I know that the real vision goes beyond anything that we've experienced. The vision that is emerging is one of freedom and joy, peace and love. Must we enter this light of infinite possibilities with dark glasses? Or can we reveal the light that is already inherent in our souls? I believe that we can. And the knower within me says that we must. For we are not seeking something outside of ourselves to save us. We are here to cultivate our own salvation. When we allow ourselves to be enriched by the beauty of the Spirit that is within, we will glow with the ecstasy of life itself. As we shake off the fears that riddle our minds and torture our bodies, we escape from the illusion that there is any danger from which we must flee, any limitations that we must overcome, and any sadness that we must bear, until such time as some merciful deity will give us his nod of approval to extricate us from our dark destiny. We are so not that. We are instead the richest, most brilliant expressions of an infinite light. We are such open, accessible, and available beings who know that we are here to reflect the magnificence that indwells us. We are a very model of a God so loving, so supportive, so creative, and so powerful that we can hardly believe our awesomeness. And yet, there is a place within us that does believe. Sometimes we do things that we regret, and the very thing that we did brings us pain. We may have tried to push the envelope. We may have acted irresponsibly. We may have been haphazard. We may have been cruel. And we are usually tortured not by God, but by our own mind. I was thinking about earlier this week when I came by here to drop off some things for the bookstore, and Amanda, the now event coordinator, and I were discussing things, and a priest came by and she had spoken with him, and he was indicating that he was keeping this wrist brace on in case he fell. She explained to me that he had fallen and that it was a very bad fall. He broke both of his wrists. And she was saying that he's getting older, that he was one of the founding priests here. And I was mentioning how my mother had fallen and started falling a few years back, and she shared with people that I often tell her that that is karma for all the people that she laughed at who were falling. Amanda was a little surprised that I said that to my mother, but my mother and I laugh about it because we know it's true. Because I would see her laughing at people and I would say, Mom, please don't laugh at the people falling. But when I started thinking about it deeper beyond that, I realized that we are so ready to laugh at each other's faults or to criticize each other's faults. How stupid of you to have made that mistake. You have fallen as if you do not have the capacity to get up, as if you do not have an opportunity to meet the ground, which may have been the very reason for you to fall, because you were so somewhere else that you needed to be grounded into an awareness that you are here in this earthly realm to discover that which is yours for your soul to know, so that you may completely fulfill that I am that is ever evolving as you. And so what I know is that pain is not natural to us. Pain is the result of the ego tricking you into doing things and saying things because its ceiling is love. It doesn't aspire to be true to self. It is true to ego, and that means by any means necessary, it will have its way. But because we are spiritual beings, pain is foreign to us. It's not our nature. We yearn for that which is our nature: peace, power, love, harmony, joy. When we come to church or hear a song or a scripture or see a mountain or a lake that looks like an ocean or watch a bird in flight or see the beauty of a flower, we are clued into the awareness of the limitless life energy that continues to create brilliant and magnificent expressions of itself, and each creation carries that, continues to carry it, and creates that so brilliantly and magnificently. It's expressing itself, and each creation is carrying that divine energy so that each one may know abundance, power, freedom, beauty, love, joy, and wisdom. When we get a glimpse of the divine, then that is enough for us to turn back to the Father, turn to the love, and to be renewed in truth. And when we do open our minds, our hearts to spirit, we are refreshed, restored, revitalized, and renewed. We have a bounce in our step. We are an energy that is unstoppable. We are in touch with the rhythm of the divine, and we are connected. And when we are connected to God, we are connected to all. Hallelujah. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like wholeness. It is complete. It's perfect. It is our nature. Love is like that. Remember the last time you were in love? You were probably in a good mood most of the time, weren't you? Especially when it was new. You smile at people. Might even told jokes or something. You started dressing nicer, keeping the flame going. Might have started getting your hair done more often and getting your hair cut more regularly because you know you want to look good for your booty. But more importantly, you've renewed your love for you. When somebody loves you, you may remember that you were lovable.
Teach. Because
we forget. Especially when we get to feeling sorry for ourselves. Even then, there's a place within you that has never been hurt, harmed, nor endangered. There's a spirit within you that has never lost its power. There's a presence, a love intelligence that is speaking to you at the level of spirit. It is saying, you are my beloved. So even when the world seems like it's not loving you, the spirit within you has never stopped loving you. Daniel Nehemiah says through Elizabeth today, when all I hear is my frustration and doubt, my soul remembers your grace. Even when I'm frustrated with my family because they won't do what I ask them to do, even when the parent who taught us manners is being rude, even when the child that we taught how to clean won't clean, even when the people that work for me won't pay me any attention, even when my romantic partner won't talk to me, even when my lover won't give me any love, my soul remembers your grace. Even when I doubt myself, even when I doubt my ability to be more, even when I doubt that I can earn a living, even if I doubt that I can provide for myself, even when I doubt that I am good enough, even when I doubt that I am smart enough, even when I doubt that I am handsome enough or pretty enough, or God still loves us. Even when my heart has been broken, or even when I've been insulted on top of it, even when I've been hurt and embarrassed in front of those who I am leading, even when my pride has been assaulted, even when I've been disrespected by my family, even when I've been abused, even when I've been robbed, even when I've been abandoned, still I shall never go without. God is there, renewing my soul. Whether at war or at peace, awake or asleep, whether I'm walking the streets or diving the ocean, so whether it's winter or spring, whether I cry or sing. They say stocks have fallen 4 weeks in a row. They say the resulting blow to confidence, not to mention 401k statements, has set off a spiral of fear that could push prices even lower, cause people and businesses to pull back and tip the economy into a new recession. They say that fear will lead companies to stop hiring and people to stop spending. In this case, the they was Jim Paulson, the chief investment strategist of Wells Capital Management. They say that more sales than usual fell apart at the last minute, which suggests plunging stocks and dismal economic news. They say at least 16% of deals were canceled ahead of closings last month, 4 times the rate in May. Well, guess what happened on Wednesday? Guess what came up on the Bloomberg market data terminals? The Bloomberg market data terminals have a morning sign-on message. Do y'all know what the Bloomberg market data terminals are? That's a Bloomberg market data terminal. It's a computer system that's provided by Bloomberg LP that enables financial professionals to access the Bloomberg professional service through which users can monitor and analyze real-time financial market data, movements, place trades. So the system provides news and price quotes and messaging across its proprietary secure network. Most large financial firms have subscriptions to this Bloomberg professional service. Guess what the sign-on message was on Wednesday morning? Ready? Prepare your mind to receive the best that life has to offer, Ernest Holmes. Oh, my soul remembers. In Tripoli, Libya, anti-regime protests erupted today in several Tripoli neighborhoods where thousands waved the bullets of snipers perched atop high buildings and residents and opposition fighters. At the same time, hundreds of rebel forces advanced to within 15 miles west of the capital and were rushing forward in pickup trucks and on foot. Heavy machine gun fire and explosions rang out across many parts of Tripoli today. Mukhtar Lahab, a rebel commander, said mosques were rallying residents with chants of Allahu Akbar. That means God is great. Broadcasting through the loudspeakers. So Murad Dadou told the Associated Press that Gaddafi's forces were pounding rebel positions west of the city with rockets, mortars, and anti-aircraft fire. We are not going back, God willing. This evening, we will enter Tripoli. There is something within these people that is saying, God is great, this is over, we are moving forward. There is something within these people that said, there is a presence within me that is great, and that is moving me forward. I shall not be moved. These people are moving so fast and so strategically and so sporadically that it's hard for the airstrikes to even target them. You can't touch this. Whether at war or in peace, awake or asleep, my soul remembers. My soul remembers your power when I fear I cannot do what must be done. God is courage itself. Whether I'm right or I'm wrong, we think that's so important. Standing timid or strong, doesn't matter. Wherever on earth I belong, when my last breath is gone, whatever I do, I shall be safe in your arms. I'll be all my soul remembers. Say that with me. Oh!
Oh!
My soul remembers.
My soul remembers.
Oh!
Oh!
My soul remembers.
My soul remembers.
Oh!
Oh!
My soul remembers.
My soul remembers.
In Isaiah 40:31 it says, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Oh, my soul remembers. I invite you to remember in those dark moments, in those moments of frustration and doubt, remember that there is a presence within you. There is a power within you. There is a love within you that is supplying everything that you need and that you can come from. Any kind of state of mind that is caught up in the body, you can take care of what needs to be taken care of. You can do that which needs to be done for the body. And I invite you to not stay there long, because there's a path that you must continue to be on, and that path is the path of your soul. That path is the path that leads you into an awareness that you are a soul that is open and available and receptive to the Spirit, that is open and receptive to the love, that is open and receptive to the courage, that is open and receptive to the freedom, that is open and receptive to the harmony, that knows nothing about judgment, that has no fear of falling, that simply knows that there is something greater within you that is in the world. And so I invite you to remember your soul. Your soul will always remember its source. It is ever available to receive that good, even when you don't know that it's here. So I invite you to go ahead and watch the birds fly. Go ahead and look at the waves touching the shore. Go ahead and smell the flowers. Go ahead and feel the vibrancy of life as it supports you. Know that there are many indications everywhere, whether you are at work or at play, at sleep or at war. There is always something happening that is revealing the divine is here now and always. I invite you to embrace that warm embrace that is surrounding you in safety, that is energizing you and renewing you in each breath. I invite you to remember who you are and whose you are. Namaste. Namaste.